too.
Or
and
Raven.
anybody whose body's good to go. If
Let's see.
Raven's good to go, I like that.
I'm going to throw out every name out there, and then you tell me who you think is
who I like best out of those names.
Okay, all right, you ready? We got Matt Hardy up there. We have Raven. We have Christopher Daniels, and we have, what was the other name that was thrown out there? Oh, just for shits and giggles, we'll throw out, it could be Jungle Boy.
No. Not Jungle Boy. That's the least of them that I like Christopher Daniels. He's got like a little fallen angel gimmick or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah.
But and they're fucking with them saying that he's
there, so it'd be.
They've already been claiming him, kind of thing.
I like Raven. I haven't heard or thought of Raven's name in a long time.
Raven was in the crowd with.
Yeah, I know. He got spotted.
Yeah.
Spotted by cameras.
They're closer than, or the Exalted One is closer than you may think, is what they kind of said.
See, Matt Hardy,
and then if you look behind him, it's Raven's old gray ass.
Matt Hardy sounds great and all, but when's his contract in? I saw something on the internet, maybe as early as March 1st. That's
Hardy.
That's right around the corner.
Yeah, Matt Hardy.
I can see Vince McMahon pulling some petty
quickly.
shit. 90-day no compete clause. But I don't think Matt Hardy.
That's kind of why we're thinking that it could be Raven. And there's also more things.
Or does AEW have enough storyline creatively to build up for 3 months until Matt Hardy would be there in June? Or do you go with
There's a rumor that either Raven's been writing their promos or
he's already working for him backstage.
Yeah,
he's already signed a contract and just
that he's either been helping them write their promos or something like that, or he did a voiceover in one of their promos.
I heard a lot of times WWE. I don't know about AEW. But the creative team, every now and then when they get shit right, they're just listening to Busted Open Radio and taking Bully Ray's or somebody's ideas off of a podcast.
Or B2J, the podcast.
Yeah, shit. But I mean, it is what it is, man. Raven sounds nice. If they're going to work together with Ring of Honor, Marty Scurll sounds amazing.
I can see Vince listening to our podcast just because of the name of our podcast. These guys watching you. Their name's B2J. You know?
Well, if you listen to it once upon a time, it was probably so at the time Jericho was there when we first started. Because now Jericho's the enemy. Remember that pay-per-view last year when
unless we became Vince's favorite podcast.
Oh shit.
Developing
when
hot.
When Shinsuke still had the Intercontinental title and Miz had a title shot against him, you knew Miz wasn't going to win, right? Why? Because if he does win and he wins the title, then next thing you know, they got to bring up Jericho's name. And I was tied for 9 reigns and the most all time. That's how they avoided bringing up Jericho's name. Shinsuke just retained.
He said, stealing from Busted Open. Put your own show over, bro. Put your own show over. All right. But anyways, that is a good show to listen to.
I mean, every now
Busted
and
Open.
every now and then I can bask in our own glory, but I mean, sorry, Austin's giving us a ring. Yeah, sorry, my phone just went off. At least it's Austin, so it's wrestling related.
Another That's Life moment, right? So
we were talking about your brother and my nephew, and then my nephew goes to
again, another That's Life moment. But anyway, that's why this show is going to be called That's Life. Like we definitely want to give you more time, more show, more everything, but can't. That's life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But we can say that right now we are watching an awesome 109-101 Kings over Clips game. Kings got 8 points.
Like you said.
Oh no, we suck again. I love that movie.
You know what else is awesome?
Waterboy. You guys should, as soon as this show is over, go and watch Waterboy. However you can, wherever you can. Waterboy is a great fucking movie. That's the movie of the week. If you guys don't do anything else this week, watch Waterboy. Light us up on our Facebook page, at B2J the podcast. Let us know whether or not you actually did that. I'm going to do that because that always puts a smile on my face. And I need one. It's been a rough fucking week, man.
You know what puts a smile on my face? Great episodes from AEW and NXT.
Oh, dude, NXT.
Not
thank
about
you
a
for
ratings
the
war.
freshness. NXT.
Well,
NXT was the best show.
Oh, shit.
of
Not an alley-oop.
NXT's been the best show of the week for a while, but they definitely
It's booked better, but AEW
they dude, that Roderick Strong match, oh my,
Velveteen Dream,
that was epic. And then fucking Ciampa almost killed a guy.
Oh man,
I mean, dude. And then Keith Lee and Dijakovic fight forever moment. That's kind of getting old, but maybe not. They put on great matches, dude.
Especially for big guys.
They put on great matches, so I can't say anything.
The main events against each other. I think AEW is going to end up getting more.
Oh, but the steel cage match,
more viewers again,
dude. Oh my goodness, that backflip off of that over that 3-story cage, 4-story cage.
3 maybe, yeah.
No, it wasn't that big.
Yeah, it wasn't that high, but it was higher.
But dude, it was
higher
huge.
than a WWE cage.
Yeah, that cage was huge. Definitely not a cage that people should be doing backflips off of. Is what I'm saying.
He was gonna throw his knee out.
Dude, I thought he was gonna
break something.
Die.
Yeah,
I don't know. Fall on his neck, and we would be talking. We would be having a totally different talk right now.
I agree with Cody. That was the best episode of a Dynamite yet, and.
Dude, both shows came out swinging.
Not Takeover, but Takeover Portland was great. But NXT, the Velveteen Dream and Roderick Strong, they had a nice main event to compete with it. And like I said, even though I think NXT's obviously been booked a lot better, it's obvious why this apparent ratings war that AEW is beating them out almost every week. There's a shit ton of fans that were so tired of Vince's shit for so long that they're not going to tune into NXT anyways because even though Trips is booking it.
What are you talking about? NXT's been.
Fans want to talk about it.
It's not a war, dude, because NXT already won. That's why I said a few weeks ago.
If you want to say
it's
a war and AEW fanboys, all you got to do is tell them if ratings matter, then beating WWEC show ain't shit because SmackDown and Raw beat them out in the ratings every week
by millions.
But then again, they've been around 20 and 30 years too.
Yeah,
and AEW did beat SmackDown out 1 week.
SmackDown's still the B show. That's why.
Paul Heyman's booking Raw and not.
Paul Heyman's supposedly going to be jumping on both.
And the problem SmackDown probably has is they have to tend to some of Fox's wants and needs
Bruce
too.
Pritchard needs help on SmackDown, man.
So you see, having to tend to some of Fox's needs isn't helping SmackDown either, probably.
But that, you know what? I can't say anything other than, SmackDown was pretty cool. The Goldberg moment was cool. I had two people. Two people at my house that haven't watched wrestling in forever, and they were like, "Fuck Goldberg, what?"
You know all that means, though, right? Goldberg.
And then they saw the Fiend for the first time, and they're like, "What is this?" Believe it or not, there's still people that haven't seen the Fiend ever.
Oh shit! Well,
but I've been I've been getting people to watch wrestling that haven't watched wrestling in a long ass time, dude.
Well, the thing about WWE is now they got probably a better roster than they ever had. But it's just because of how big it is. If anything, the talent's there. It's definitely there. But the roster's so big that they can't use
taking the kids and their family to
talent.
Wrestling every time it comes to the
AEW. There's an alternative again, so. Like back in the day when wrestling.
I've been going through old shows, dude, and I still trip on the fact that Bret Hart and Jerry the King Lawler had a match at Stockton Civic Center on Raw, and it was filmed.
In the mid-90s?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great.
Dude, I trip out on that stuff.
So you can go to the WWE Network and bring up our crazy little town that they don't send Raw to anymore. That they'll only send the fucking SmackDown house shows to now. Little bastards.
We always get a new wrestler or two every time though.
Yeah, because but it was cool when Styles was here.
Because either the mix up or something like that.
What's the fucking
And
point?
You know what? We got stuff.
If the SmackDown roster is going to be here in town, the only point is to go see The Fiend. So that's why they let go of Brock Lesnar, because I think somebody convinced somebody in Fox that The Fiend was worth that trade. He's an attraction. He's a draw.
We're going to be getting Raw shows now. We're not going to be getting SmackDown shows anymore.
One of the thing about The Fiend being a draw is he's going up against the biggest draw in the history one of the biggest draws in the history of the company.
If we get SmackDown if we get SmackDown house shows now, we'll get better shows all around than Raw. Other than they got AJ Styles and stuff.
House shows are arguably better than the tape shows because they try to.
House shows are always better than the tape shows because they could get away with more. But they're not better. They're not so much better. They do
more
moves.
effort.
They do moves that they're going to do eventually in big time shows.
To me, the difference. Yeah, you're right.
And to practice those shows, and then once they get those moves in, they lock those moves in, and once they lock those moves in, then they could take them to the big shows, and that's what you get to see at house shows. Is You get to see them practicing the big shit that they're going to be doing.
Exactly. I think you see better wrestling, better in-ring performances at the house shows compared to the weekly live events.
Plus, they can get away with using moves that they could use. They could probably get away with doing a pile driver or something.
Well, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, just because it's a live event,
instead of a backflip, you can't do a pile driver, but you can do a backflip pile driver. That's okay.
Yeah, shit. I don't even know anybody who does a backflip pile driver, man.
Every time somebody does one of those moves that like a dude will jump over the top rope and then they'll boom, and then they'll do and then they'll do a front flip pile driver like Rey Mysterio does it.
I call it a Canadian Destroyer.
Whoever does
Adam Cole just gave Ciampa one at
the
TakeOver
dude
Portland.
Who's taking that bump is doing a backflip and supposedly landing
giving themselves a backflip and giving themselves a pile driver all at once. So yeah, I guess no.
But you're not allowed to do that. You're allowed to do that, but you're not. But anyway, I digress. I look at those things. That's the type of wrestling fan that I am.
Talk about that. You got people that are watching wrestling and watched wrestling in years. Ciampa, man, all that shit. His
Ciampa nearly killed a guy.
And Ciampa nearly died at Portland or in Portland.
What a match, dude!
The shit he kicked out of, it was almost Austin-esque until Gargano came out. It was insane. Hell of a match.
Almost like Kyrie Sane getting married to.
And then some fans.
We love you guys. We appreciate you. We're gonna use this time to tell you that we don't have any commercials in. As far as I know, but if we do, they're not paying us, so get on their asses.
Yeah.
We love you. We appreciate you. We are going to be back.
And better than ever. Oh, sorry.
Next Saturday, if not sooner. We're still working on getting a midweek show in. Our schedules are matching up right now, but they're just not adding up right now. If that made any sense whatsoever.
We're getting consistency back. I hope that's
something
better. Better than anything for you guys.
This show is probably going to be a lot easier to stomach, being that it's a short one. So you're welcome for that.
No music, just a little bit of wrestling and a lot of.
If you don't like wrestling and you like our music part of our show, which there are people who do.
I came up with it a couple years ago and it never really stuck, and now I'm starting to see it on the internet. We don't have any kind of slogan other than from the music segments, right? And did your ears bleed? I want to get us a T-shirt.
Okay. I'm always about that life.
People that aren't wrestling fans always have to preach to us like we're stupid, right? And we don't know that it's scripted outcomes. You know, that shit's fake, right? That's getting a little annoying, especially as you're an adult and you're obviously not stupid. I think we should get a T-shirt on the front that says wrestling is real, and then on the back, people are fake.
Yeah. Wrestling.
B2J logo on the side somewhere.
Yeah, B2J on the shoulder or something like that. And then I like it. I like that a lot. Now somebody's going to steal it.
No, we're doing it. As soon as you get taxes.
We love you guys. We appreciate you.
I don't need to patent it or anything, but ain't no one going to go steal that. Ain't no one nerdy enough to do it.
Oh, stop it. You underestimate our fans as quickly.
Wrestling. Fuck.
You underestimate our fans or wrestling fans or in general, man. They're on it. We love you guys. We appreciate you. We just got to watch the ending of the Kings game. Kings won 112 over the Clips 103. That's awesome. Oh, man, there's the man, Jim Cozumel, right there. But anyway, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball, but that's David Aldridge.
You can put it in the book and send him to the line?
That's David Aldridge, too, I think. But anyways, we're out. B2J is
Ow.
Oh, tell at least one person a day passionately about B2J, the podcast. That's what I wanted to tell you.
How too sweet we are.
Yeah, and how too sweet we are. That's I like that.